What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back again. Are you guys tired of the 2005 Dodge Viper yet? I'm going to be honest with you, I am very tired of filming videos on the Dodge Viper for you guys. I want nothing more than to be done with this car so I can enjoy it, because since I started filming this entire series, the car has sat on my lift. I have not taken it off the lift. I have not driven it. It has been up here for weeks, and today, I hope, is the day that we can finish. I got one thing left to do, guys. One thing. And then I think we can take it out and start driving it again. And look who's with us today.
Ho, ho, ho!
We got Santa from Santa's Workshop.
How y'all doing?
If you don't know who he is, you need to go check him out. His YouTube channel, what is that channel again? It's something Santa, right? He doesn't even remember.
Santa's Shop Work, Santa.
No, you're going to get them all confused now.
Santa's Workshop, come on.
Santa's Workshop. I'll put a link to him below. Go check him out today. He had to come over here because, well, things today didn't quite work.
No.
That's the story of my freaking life. I'm telling you. So I went and I picked up the Monte Carlo SS today. Fresh out of paint. Looking good.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. I brought it down here, and Santa said, I let him know. I said, hey, I'm going to be down here. You have not driven the Monte Carlo yet.
I have not driven
In
it
fact,
yet.
I don't think anybody has. And I've offered, and nobody wants to drive it.
Well, the reason I never would before is because I had such pain in my leg getting in and out of it, I didn't know if I could.
Yeah.
And thank you, dear Lord, that is taken care of.
Well, that is a blessing.
Yes, very much so.
So you were going to drive it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I forgot the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot the keys. So I was going to film a whole deal on the Monte Carlo today.
Oh.
That's what I planned on doing. I got dude, the sun visor. I mean, every light bulb for the car, the new cup holders. I've got all the weather stripping, the felts. I've got the trunk weather stripping over there. I have a new radio that a subscriber sent me to install. This was an upgrade, a $300 upgrade for that car. This could have been ordered with that car in 1987, and he sent it to me for free, along with a mixtape.
That's
subscribers, man.
That's cool, I know. Aren't they wonderful?
Absolutely. So I've got plenty of work to do to the Monte Carlo. I really didn't feel like doing anything else to this one right now, but you came out to drive it.
Yeah.
And I got it on my trailer. I unstrapped it. And then I realized I have no keys. So I had to take the truck and park it. And I'm not driving an hour home and an hour back to go get the keys. No. So I decided today we're going to work on this. And off camera, Santa and I changed the serpentine belt, which really didn't even need to be changed. So maybe I'll keep it.
That'd be a good spare.
I mean, look at it. There's nothing wrong with this belt.
No.
Perfectly good belt. It even still has the writing and everything on it. So we're going to do the right thing. We're gonna put it in the trunk, also known as the trash, because I'll never use it. So there's more that I need to do to the car. In fact, today I just ordered the oil cooler lines for this. Over $300.
Ouch.
For cooler lines. This is a fuel filter. It's made by Mall. Yeah, those guys. This, I think, was around $130-ish.
Wow.
Dollars plus shipping, plus tax, and all that good stuff. Yeah, I read on the forums that this is a real bear to change. They say that it sits on the frame rail. And I was like, well, if it's sitting on the frame rail...
That shouldn't be bad.
No, and it's weird looking, but they're just quick connects or quick disconnects. Right. Quick connects. They are not quick to disconnect. They never are, but they are very quick to connect as long as things work right. So, in the last video, I still have a mess all over the ground here. In the last video, went through and changed all the fluids. Every fluid in this car got changed, and we had to take this silly pan off the bottom. A whole bunch of, a absolute shit ton of T40s, guys. And then, just for fun, they added a few little Phillips screws, and this weird little shield that goes, you have to take the screws out because this shield goes above the stupid exhaust that they've got wrapping around the whole car.
Oh, jeez.
So you got to take these 4 screws out to let go of that shield, and then you got back here 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips screws. How about that? T40s and Phillips screws. Well, as it turns out, literally, I did all this work last night. I come back today, and I'm like, oh, let's see where that fuel filter is. Maybe it's over here, somewhere easy to get to. Oh, wait, no, it's nothing but exhaust. No, don't see it. Let's take a peek in here and see if we can see anything. Oh, there it is. Would you look at that? You guys probably can't see it, but literally where all those lines are, facing the frame rail, yeah, that's where the filter is. And to get to it, well, I can't get to it through this silly little hole, which means it means all of this has got to come off again. All right, let's see if we can figure this out here. Santa and I got the that little shield off under here, and now there's a little more room. Maybe I can get you up here. In fact, let me take you off the tripod there. Now I could really get you up in there so you can see what we're dealing with. Here, come on. Here's the filter. That is it right there. You got two lines. You got a quick connect right there, a braided line, and then you got one with the little push pins up towards the top right there with the blue pins. And that thing right there, there's a bolt. I don't know how we're even going to get to it, guys. And those quick disconnects, you know as well as I do, those never come off. And the best part is, because of the way they've got this thing, this is going to be great, because as soon as we get the lines off, it's going to dump fuel. It's just going to pour fuel straight down. So that's going to be a lot of fun, guys. So I'm going to get to it and see if we can get this thing out of here. Hey guys, I think we got her. Did. I'm not going to lie, if this really just came off. Yep. Oh, there it goes. Whoa. Hey. Oh yeah, running straight down the exhaust. That's what you want. Oh yeah. Let's just back up and we'll let her.
You say you want a light.
Yeah, you got a light? Do you smoke? It's a good time to fire one up, right?
If you don't, you soon will be.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie. That actually quick disconnected. It
actually worked.
It worked. I didn't spray anything in it. I didn't lube it up first or anything.
Now for that other one.
I went in dry. Used the big one. So I just shoved it in there. And next thing you know, the thing's squirting all over. I'm talking about fuel. I'm talking about... He's got a dirty mind. I don't know what he's talking about. Let's see. So next, I got to push in. That's going to be fun. I can't reach anything up there is the problem, guys. So next, if I could... And this stupid exhaust, I really hope that someday I can get rid of this exhaust. So there are these clips, guys, and I don't know. I don't know. Give me a second. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay. Now I understand why people on the forums were saying that this is such a bear to get to and such a bear in general to do. But I did get it out. With any luck, everything is still intact and I didn't break anything. I don't think I broke anything. Now, there we go. That's just pour it all. Thank you. And Santa just told me the trick to not having that happen too. Wrap a towel around your wrist so that it catches it all. So this is a Mal, whatever. Looks like it's probably original. Thankfully, getting it all apart is the hard part. Putting it back together shouldn't be so difficult. But this thing was definitely married, and it did not want to get a divorce. Let's take a look at the new one. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the new... Really? It didn't come with the... You'd think it would come with a new clip? Because that's old and brittle. I would have really preferred that it came with a new clip. I'm surprised it didn't, especially for the price.
Yeah, no joke.
Oh well, it is what it is. Let's see if we can remove that. I'm going to look over in my pile over there and see if I've got... I may have a new one. If not, then we'll reuse this. I mean, it definitely held it. It sure didn't want to give up. It doesn't look damaged.
Yeah, it feels pliable. So.
Yeah, it's... Snap. That's what zip ties are for.
That's right.
Just stick a zip tie through it. All right, guys, give me a few minutes. Let me see if I can find a new clip. If not, then I guess we're gonna reuse the old one. Okay, it is all back together with the exception of the skid plate. I don't even think that's a skid plate. More like an aerodynamic plate. And you see the air scoop that it's got right here?
That's to keep the exhaust cool.
That keeps the
Or the rear axle.
rear diff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that keeps the rear differential cool. It's actually a pretty cool setup. It's just a pain to
work around.
Yeah, so all I need is to find the keys, which, there they are.
Did you lose those again?
Keys and me today, and you know what? Sometimes you get lucky, and like maybe a Cadillac key or a Cavalier key will fit like Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I took all the keys that I had laying around from GMs, and I tried all of them. No, none of them work.
See, you should have called me because I got G-body keys.
G-body keys.
Yeah.
You do have plenty of them, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Well, before we put this plate on, we thought it'd be a great idea just to verify
Yes.
that there are no leaks, because that was honestly, that was a lot. Do you see anything?
No.
No. He was thinking about lying. I could see it. He was thinking about lying. We'll prime it a couple more times. Oh, you can hear it starting to gurgle and...
Yeah. Said, all right already, all right.
All right. Well, you can hear the air bubbles.
Yeah.
I think it's time to fire it up.
I think so.
Although I'm still worried about all that gasoline on the exhaust.
Oh, that's already evaporated.
Let me see if I can climb. This is like getting into a truck now. Now there's an idea.
4x4 Viper?
Yeah, well, I think they make the Viper truck. But has anybody ever taken a Dodge Viper, lifted it, and put like mud tires on it?
Probably there have been.
I want to be the first. All right. You see anything leaking out from under there? Nothing?
Nothing.
No kidding. I'm gonna let it run for about 10 seconds just to heat up that exhaust enough to evaporate anything that might be left on it.
And burn us while we're under there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll burn ourselves. All right, well, there we go.
Probably has a exhaust leak up front, doesn't it?
Yep, on this side, she got an exhaust leak. Probably from the header. They're known to crack the header on the bottom side, which is another reason. I figure if I got to pull the header off anyway, might as well install that Bellinger exhaust. The only thing that concerns me, I mean, there's a couple things. Number one, it's a $4,200 exhaust system. That concerns me. That's an awful lot of money. But because of the way they've got it so it's not wrapped under the car, it keeps the interior cooler.
Yeah.
Because this car is hot on the inside. Like even with the top down, your feet, your legs, it gets warm in there. You got to turn the air on. So it makes the car run cooler, or not run cooler, but the exhaust runs 50% cooler.
Right.
Than this exhaust does. It saves like 40 pounds and it gains 50 rear wheel horsepower.
Okay.
So I see nothing but benefits.
Right.
Except I've seen several people complain after they installed it that the thing is too loud. That the drone is insane. Going down the highway and stuff, you can't have a conversation. Like you can't even talk to somebody because the exhaust. With that said, I've also heard that the snap, crackle, and pops are phenomenal.
Oh, I'm sure.
So you got to decide, like, what is it? Do you want to talk to the person next to you? Do you want to hear your radio? Or do you want to just hear the exhaust and the snap, crackle, pops? Or are those people just crybabies and they're exaggerating?
Well, I'll look at it this way. What is the car used for?
Long leisurely cruises on the beach.
Then you don't want the snap, crackle, pop.
It's a race car is what it is, you know?
Yeah, then you do want the snap, crackle, pop.
Hell, I can barely hear the radio as it is anyway. All right, guys. I think we're gonna get her up in the air. We'll put this back on. I might drive this home tonight.
There you go.
Because I have to. Because my Monte Carlo is still stuck on my trailer and it's already unstrapped. So I would have to strap the Monte Carlo, or I'd have to drop the trailer with the Monte Carlo on it.
Right.
Yeah, I think I might drive this home.
And that's just asking for somebody to take off with it.
Yeah, well, I am. See, I thought about that too. I'm not going to tell everybody what I'm using, but I have purchased GPS trackers, several of them. I'm going to be putting in. And one of them for sure is the Viper.
Yeah.
And another one for sure is the Monte Carlo SS. Absolutely. Want to be able to know if it's moving when it's not supposed to be moving.
Right.
It's a little too late because Power Tour, by the time this video comes out, chances are Power Tour is already probably half over. But I wanted to get an alarm for the Monte Carlo with an ignition cutoff. And what is that called when you bump it and it sets the alarm off?
Oh, motion sensor?
It's like a motion sensor, but it's like an impact sensor.
Right.
It knows, like, if somebody's touching the car, like moving the car around, the car gets jarred because somebody's trying to get into it, or somebody jumps into it and the weight of the car goes down. It detects the shift in the movement.
Right.
And it sets the alarm off, like, automatically.
Right.
But like I've got 4 days till Power Tour, and I got to take the transmission apart. Like, there's no time left, man. There's no time for that. I'm hoping I can still get the windows tinted. But anyway, I got so much to do with it. And I think I know what your answer is going to be to this, but I'm going to ask my audience too. I'm considering selling the Monte Carlo when I get back. And I'm sure everybody saw this coming a mile away. Anybody that knows me is probably, they knew this day was coming. I've had that Monte Carlo a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably lasted on the channel probably longer than just about anything else.
The only problem is you haven't had a chance to have fun with it yet.
No, I've been so busy working. Yeah. I haven't really had a chance to really just enjoy it. But that's what Power Tour is for.
Right.
To be able to take it, and I'm either going to love it or I'm just going to hate it when I'm done. And who knows? You never know with Power Tour how that's going to go.
Exactly.
It starts in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it ends in Indianapolis. But first you got to go to Akron, Ohio, and then back down to Indianapolis. Which is quite convenient for me because I have a house 70 miles from Indianapolis. So I got a place to go, man. I cleaned it up. I'm ready. The linens are fresh. I took care of it because I knew in a week, I just got back from vacation. I was like, in a week, I'm going to be right back there again.
Right.
So, but here's where I'm at. I love the Viper and I love the Monte Carlo. There's nothing wrong with either of them that would make me want to just get rid of them, offload them, because I know it's going to blow up.
Right.
I'm not worried about anything going wrong. The Monte Carlo, I think, is a far better deal. Brand new engine, brand new transmission. The only thing that's not new is the rear end and the drive shaft. I mean, all the brake lines, everybody's been watching, everything in that car has been done. Fresh paint, new stickers. It's an absolute blast to drive. Not to mention it gets looks everywhere. People love it. And, like, it was, well, all in. This hurts. My last count was around $2,800. Oh. And I have since spent $28,000. I'm sorry.
I was going to pull that out and give it to you right now.
$28,000. This one was $39,000.
Right.
Considerable difference in price, but also completely different cars.
Right.
The Monte Carlo it's not rare, but it's rare-ish. There's not nearly as many of them around as there used to be.
Right.
And this car, also pretty rare. Definitely not nearly as many of these as there used to be. So my question is, which one? If I have to pick one, and I'm not in a position yet where I have to choose, but there's going to come a point where I've got 30 grand, basically, just round it, 30 grand into the Monte Carlo. When I'm done with this, I'll have about 45 into this one. Which car do you keep if you want to get some of your money back in the bank?
I keep the Monte Carlo, of course.
You keep, yeah.
Because of the fact, you've got equity in this one.
Yeah.
Even full out everything you've done, you'll have equity.
Yeah. I'll still be able to, if I sold it private party.
Right.
I could probably still clear between $3,000 and $5,000 currently, but as time goes on, as a year or 2 or 3 goes by, the value should continue going up on this one as well.
Right. And for drivability, I'm sure the Monte Carlo is going to be, something that you could jump in and fly a lot more comfortable
Oh, yes.
than this.
Yes, this car is, it's fire. It looks hot. It gets attention everywhere you go.
Oh, yeah.
It is fast. It'd probably stomp the Monte Carlo. It'd probably wipe the floor with it. But the Monte Carlo, such a nice sounding exhaust. There's something about a small block Chevy,
Oh, yeah.
with a cam, that carbureted. You can get parts for it at any auto parts store. Unlike this, a fuel filter, over $100 for a fuel. I get a fuel filter for like $6 at AutoZone.
Yeah.
For the Monte. So the Monte Carlo, that car makes so much more sense to keep.
It does.
But there's no equity in it.
But at the end of the day, which puts a bigger smile on your face?
I honestly, I need to drive the Monte Carlo more.
Yeah.
And I need to drive this one more. I've only been able to drive this like 3 days out of the entire almost month that I've had it. It's spent all of its. I guess I just need to drive both of them more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, if I could sell this one and even break even if I lost $5,000, I'm still better than the Monte. I have almost got so much money into the Monte Carlo, I can't sell it because I'll never come close to getting anywhere near my money back.
Here's what, if I could convince you of what to keep, it would be the Monte Carlo for one main reason. That's so you have it for Power Tour next year when I have the Caballero done.
Oh, hey, I'll take this on Power Tour next year.
I want to be able to beat you at least.
What would you guys do? We know what Santa would do. I'm honestly torn. I love Dodge Vipers. I really, really do.
Oh, I love them, but there's no way I could drive one.
No, hell, I barely fit. It is and you sit way down. It's not a comfortable car, but damn, man, driving it is so much fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I guess it really would. If I were to decide I've got to sell one of these, it would probably make more sense to sell the Viper. But honestly, that's not what I currently feel.
Right.
What I currently feel is like, get rid of the Monte Carlo, cash out of that, and you got all this extra money to buy parts for this. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, man. That $4,000, if I could get about 16 to 18 out of the Monte Carlo, I'd probably sell it.
Oh, man.
And I would start buying all kinds of great stuff for this car. All right, guys, we're going to get this thing up in the air, put this little, splash pan, what aerodynamic pan, whatever. We're going to throw that back on it. And then I think we might actually be able to get this car off the lift so I can get it to the city and maybe get some tires put on it.
There you go.
Well, another successful day and another thunderstorm. Seems like every time that I come out here and work on this car, severe weather hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Santa just told me that there is severe weather on the way right now. And
there's where we are.
perfect. And it's coming straight for us, right?
And it's coming straight for us.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's growing.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Hail, I already see a hail core in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good news is this car has no metal. Well, I guarantee you around the windshield is metal.
Yeah.
I promise you this. Yeah, metal. But listen, plastic. I can flex the fender. Hood, plastic, doors, fender, trunk. It's all plastic, the whole car.
Well, now,
It's hail-proof.
don't say that.
I just said it. It's hail-proof.
Because the Midnight Express, when it got nailed, the plastic cell panels
Yeah.
on the side, one of them busted through it.
Okay, hail-resistant.
Hail-resistant, there you go.
This is better than a Saturn. Remember when Saturn came out?
Oh, yeah.
They prided themselves on, remember the commercials? They would have a kid throwing a baseball or a football,
Right.
and it would hit the car and it'd just bounce off. Mm-hmm. And they were like, it's great against hail. The only problem with Saturns is the whole top of the car is metal. The hood, the roof, the trunk, those parts are metal. The rest of the car is plastic. I've got an entire car. It's typical Dodge, typical American stuff, built in the late 70s, all of the 80s, all of the 90s, 2000, all of today. Yeah, all plastic. That is pure American quality.
There you go.
Right there. I really don't have anything else to drive home. I sold everything. I really, I've got. What do I have? I've got this.
Right.
This. I haven't touched this since I bought it.
You don't have this to drive home because
No.
you don't drive.
Well, the other problem is that, and I don't think I've talked about it in a video, but the top is stuck, open, halfway. I mean, perfect. It's half up, half down.
Get you some ratchet straps, and just tighten it up. That way, it's not going to rip off as you're going down the road.
Yeah, that would look. Well, it would be fitting for the rest of the car. Honestly, I'm working on this. There is a video coming very soon, I promise, on the Cadillac Eldorado. In fact, I may go ahead and make a video and put it before this one just to appease everybody, because it has been. I made one video on this car, and I haven't made another video on it. But I can't drive this one home. This one barely can drive itself anywhere at this point. This one I don't want to drive home because I'm worried that it's going to hail and I'm going to get it damaged.
Right.
I've got my truck, but it has a Monte Carlo stuck on the back of it. And I have no keys for the Monte Carlo. I've got the Monte Carlo, but I can't drive it because I have no keys. And I've got a bus.
We can roll it off.
We can?
You don't have park.
You're right. I don't have park.
We flip the lever and off we go.
I was wondering where you were going with that for a second. I was like, but here's what you're right. See, I'm thinking we have to move the lever because the lever is stuck because the key's not in it. But you're right, there is no park.
Yeah.
So literally, you turn off the e-brake and
bye-bye.
Let her roll.
Yeah.
So I could drive the truck home.
Yes. But you talked yourself into driving.
I can always make room in my garage when I get home, except that it's full of e-bikes that I have yet to review.
Boy.
Yeah, I have to clean that up. And you think it's safe to fire it up?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'll start this thing up. Let it run for a minute. You want to take it for a spin?
I can't fit in there. You know that.
I can barely fit in here, if I'm being completely honest. It's I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's a tight fit. And there's a trick. Jessica hates it. Like she doesn't want to go anywhere in this.
Yeah.
She really doesn't. So when I want to just cruise by myself, this is what you take. So to do it, you kind of need to turn yourself around, and you got to put your ass in first. Okay. What I do is I take my right leg and I get it ready. I get it in there, Then sit your ass in. Right? Then take this leg. Try not to scuff all the other panels. I think that was pretty elegant.
That was.
Hold on, the car makes me look fat. My shirt shrank when I was on vacation, Santa. I don't know what happened.
I don't need a car to make me look fat.
I swear, I went on vacation and my shirts shrank. I mean, it's not that I went out to eat every day and had tons of horrible hamburgers and fast food and steak and... Yeah, I went out and totally destroyed my diet. I think I probably have gained every pound I lost.
Oh, goodness.
Right back. Sounds like a tractor, don't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember the old Dodge trucks, the work trucks that had the V10 gas? This is it.
Yeah.
Except they sent that old cast iron V10 down to them, and they turned it into an all aluminum V10. She's got some Hurst purrs and some Turks. She's a little bit better than it was.
Now, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, Lamborghini started out life making tractors.
Yes, they did. Or was that Ferrari?
I think it was Lamborghini.
I think it was Lamborghini, because doesn't Whistle and Diesel or somebody on YouTube owns... Oh, it's Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, really?
Jeremy Clarkson on Clarkson's farm?
Yeah.
He owns the tractor.
Oh, wow.
And I think you're right. I think it's Lamborghini. And I think this was Ferrari, because I can't imagine Lamborghini ever being owned by Dodge, right? Ferrari is hard to imagine, but when you think about Maserati, Ferrari, Fiat, Chrysler, yeah, definitely a Ferrari thing here, guys. See, I figured it out, and I didn't even have to cheat. Listen to this thing purr, though.
Yeah, as soon as that manifold heated up, it got quiet.
Yeah, there's definitely an exhaust leak on this side, which, like I said, it's just begging.
Yeah, 4,200, it'll be fixed.
That's just so much money. That's what kills me about this car is it's not a supercar.
Right.
It kind of looks like one, and I think it's a hell of a performer, but it's not a supercar. But the prices that you have to pay for stuff, it's $100+ for a fuel filter.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? $4,000 for an exhaust. It's not even a big exhaust. It just comes right off the engine and has to go right there.
Well, I guarantee you most of that is right here.
Yes. Yep. Most of it. Yes. And then it just bends.
And it's right there.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm really torn. I do love this car, and I've had for years people have asked me, what car do you like regret selling most? Which one do you miss the most? And I keep coming back to the Viper.
Really?
You know, I paid $52,000, I think, for the last one. And then I sold it because it scared me. It had leaky oil cooler lines.
Right.
The engine chattered. I was not aware that that's a Viper thing. The engines chatter when they warm up.
This will go.
When they warm up. Once it gets up to operating temperature, you're out in the heat of the day, that engine
will start.
But I just changed the oil yesterday. I put 1550 in it.
Okay.
It used to use 040. But on the forums, they recommend if you don't like the chattering noise, go to 1550.
Right.
And it'll quiet it down, but not completely.
And with the warmer temperatures we have here,
yes,
that's not going to hurt it at all.
Nope. They said if you're in a hotter environment, 1550 is perfectly fine. So the engine's definitely quieter, but the dealership kind of scared me. You know, when they told me to change those oil cooler lines, they were talking like $1,500. Woo! I got the parts for $300 and something. I'm gonna fix it myself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to show that you can buy a Viper, and you don't have to worry too much about it breaking. If it blows up, then you run into a problem. Like a motor, used, an easy $8,000 for a used engine. A rebuild's going to be around 10.
If that ever blows up, just get you a 6.2 LS and put in it.
LS swap a Viper. That's you know, they use the same transmission, I think, in Firebirds and Camaros. It's the T56.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, this is not like a Chrysler specific transmission. It is not.
I'll be darned.
No, you could get the transmission out of, if you're smart, you don't go looking for a Viper transmission. You find one out of like an old Firebird or something, and you throw it. The only thing you got to worry about is the engine. So technically, I would think, unless the bell housing, it's a manual, so obviously the trans separates from the bell housing. So they probably just manufactured a new bell housing for this engine.
And you can't tell me somebody can't craft an adapter for it.
Well, you shouldn't have to, because once you take the transmission off of the bell housing, you just stab it into whatever else, and it should.
There's 4 bolts.
Yeah, it should bolt right up. That's not a half bad idea, man. If I ever blow this up, we may have to look for an LS3. Drop an LS3 in this thing. Maybe throw a couple turbos on it.
No. Find one with the blower. Put you a Whipple supercharger on it.
But there ain't no room. We have to cut a hole in the hood.
No, not with a Whipple. Those things are right there on top.
Like flush?
Yes. And believe me, once you get this thing out of here, you're going to have all the room in the world to work on an LS.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you put an LS in it, and suddenly there's going to be a lot more room to work.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I love this car, man. I really do. Good pressure on the cooling system already. You know how much a water pump is?
Oh, I don't even want it.
They don't make them anymore. That tells you how much it is. And the best part is the water pump on these, the impeller's plastic. And they all come separated from the shaft. They all fail because of that. So you're on borrowed time with the water pump. Now, thankfully, somebody makes an aftermarket with a billet aluminum.
Oh.
Take a guess how much that is. With a core, you have to send yours in.
$1,200.
Actually, it's less.
Really?
Yes, $700, $750. And the water pump is this big. It literally sits right there with that little pulley is in the middle. It's just this little water pump. Yeah, $750 or so.
See, what they need to do is to take that out and put a Cummins water pump in it. Have you ever seen one of them?
I haven't, but I'm assuming it's massive.
That big around, 2 bolts.
2 bolts?
2 bolts. 20 minutes. While the engine was hot, I had mine switched out, sitting in O'Reilly's auto parking lot.
Well, now you got me thinking maybe it needs to have a Cummins under the hood.
You know, I've got one sitting in the shop.
No. We're not Weston Champlin over here, okay? I'm gonna leave all of that stuff to the man. He's like the god of coming, swapping everything. Look, it's warmed up pretty good now. It's not completely hot yet, but you can still quiet.
Yep.
Real quiet. And it's even quieter if you close the hood. Make sure I'm not leaving anything under there.
And what's amazing is you've got working vents in this.
Yes.
But you can't. It knocks out the sound.
Yeah, those are legit heat extractors, because when you're sitting in traffic after you've been running on it, you can see, you know, the waves from the heat, or what, you can see it coming. It's,
imagine on a cold day.
I'm gonna have to take it out and drive it in the snow sometime. We both know I'll never have this car by winter time. It is June 4th today?
Yes.
Everybody should take bets on how long I'm gonna. We should start a pool in the comment section down below. How long do you think I'm going to have the car, and which one do you think I'm going to keep, the Viper or the Monte Carlo? I'm going to be honest with you. Now that I've done so much, I need to get it in to get the tires done. But once I got the new tires on it, like, this thing should be good to go for a while.
Yeah.
There's really nothing more I should need to do to this until it needs a clutch or something like that. So, I mean, it's almost like the Monte Carlo, where it's in a position now where it's ready to drive. Oh, if you ever got to change the oil pan gasket on this, no problem, comes right off. No joke.
Does the cross member unbolt?
There's no cross member. There's nothing under there. Yeah, you just take the bolts out, comes right off.
Geez.
I'm telling you, it looks like, and after doing the fuel filter, I would agree, it seems like it could be a difficult car to work on. There are a few things that are kind of tough on it, but really it's no big deal. The rear differential, kind of like a Miata. It's just, there's 4 mounting points, and it just drops out. You got your CV axles on each side, and you pop your drive shaft. You got 4 mounting. There's nothing really under there, no cross members. You could pop that. You could probably pop that differential out maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours tops.
You know, this and the Prowler, if I remember correctly, when they first come out with them, they rushed the engineering on them, you know, so that they could get it from concept to public as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And looking at the frame and everything under there, you can tell this is not a form-pressed production line car.
Yeah.
So they're going to build this thing where it's easy to work on.
But that was the idea. It was supposed to be this was supposed to be kind of a throwback to the Cobra.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a more of a race car. You know, the Cobra didn't come with anything. Right. I mean, the original Cobra I don't even think it came with a top. There was nothing. It was made to take out and just, you ride it hard and you put it away.
Right.
That was the idea with at least the original version of this. They since added air conditioning, power steering. The original ones did not come with power steering. They didn't come with air conditioning. It was nothing but a cart you take out to the track and you just drive the living hell out of it, and then you put it up. And then, you know, as the years went by, they added features. The newer ones, the last generation of them, they've got touch screens. You know, I mean, they've got all the creature comforts. This one has no traction control. It does have anti-lock brakes, but that's about the only real feature this car has. There's no cruise control. You get nothing. You do get air conditioning. The top, not even electric, it's mechanical. Right. And you got to do it yourself. That's the whole point of the car, is it's supposed to be more like a race car. And everybody knows real race cars, when you got to change something, you need to be able to do it in a hurry. Right. Transmission on this, super easy. You take that pan that we just took off. Right. You got one little cross member down there, and the mount, and 4 bolts, I think, like you said, that pull the actual transmission from the bell housing. Now you got the slave cylinder and all that other stuff in there, but everything about this is not that difficult. It looks complicated, but it's really not.
You ought to check out KSR Performance on YouTube.
I know them.
He has 2 Vipers that they do track racing with.
Yeah, KSR is who I got. Isn't they where I got my parts for the Buick Grand National from?
No.
That's not them?
I don't think so.
Not the same people?
KSR is Kevin Smith Racing and Performance.
Oh, he's with Cletus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely not the same guy.
He is the one who I've tried to fashion my YouTube videos off of. Yeah. I really like watching him. You learn so much from his videos. But them working on these Vipers and all that they've done to it, I mean, they put it on scales and make sure that, you know, each corner weighs a certain amount.
Oh, that's too, no. No. Well, guys, I think, just double check, make sure it's not on fire. Oil pressure is still sitting around 50. She is nice and hot now. She's over 200 degrees. And she's purring like a kitten. I think what I like most about it right now, though, is they said that changing that oil would quiet the engine down.
Yeah.
The engine's not rattling at all.
No.
I shouldn't say rattle. It was never rattling, but chattering.
Right.
It was a chattering, sounded like a sewing machine, you know, kind of a chatter. Perfectly quiet.
Yeah.
It's never done that before after it reached operating temperature.
Wow.
So I got a big shout out to Santa's Workshop over here for hanging out, helping out. If you guys don't know who he is, like I said, I'm gonna put a link down below this video. Go check him out for yourselves, and I need help. You guys drop a comment below and tell me, if I am forced to choose between the Viper and the Monte Carlo, which one do I keep and which one do I sell? And I'm not just saying that to get comments. Like, I'm legitimately, I hate to say that I'm torn, but like I really am, because I have a feeling at some point I'm gonna need some of my money back.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry, but $40,000+ in this, close to $30,000 into the Monte Carlo, there's a lot of cash floating up in the air here. And, you know, I'm looking at them like, I really don't need both cars. And I sure would like to have some of that money back in the bank. So which one is it, guys? I'm leaning more towards the Viper. Santa's obviously leaning towards the Monte Carlo.
Oh, yeah.
You guys tell me what you think. With that, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.